So great seeing my next guest finally make his UFC debut. He's going to be taking on Jordan Leavitt, UFC Fight Night, April 16th. It's Trey Ogden back here on the program. Trey, how's it going, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing great. We talked right after you got that UFC contract, obviously big moment. When did you find out about this fight? Because I know it was well after we spoke.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
almost a full camp. I mean, I know four would have been ideal, I guess, right? But
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I actually found out, confirmed the day of a jiu-jitsu match I had. So I
Mhm.
was training for a jiu-jitsu match anyways. And so I was already in shape. So it was plenty of time. It's perfect, actually.
And kind of an interesting opponent as well, just in the sense that you guys have the same management, right? So I'm sure the negotiations, maybe putting this together would be a bit easier, right?
Yeah, I would say we have the same management, but like different representatives within it.
Yeah, you're
It's
with Wooster. He's,
so
I think, with Jason House, right? Yeah, so
yeah. But yeah, that was easy.
that's great. So you mentioned the jiu-jitsu match that you were getting prepared for. Was it around the same date, or what? When was the date of that?
What was that? 2 Saturdays ago?
Oh, okay.
Um,
So yeah,
I
recently.
forgot the date now. Yeah, but about 2 weeks ago.
Were you pretty
Yeah,
familiar with Jordan when you found out about him as an opponent? Like, had you watched him fight, or was it someone you
I
had to
had
look up?
seen his fights live, so I knew the name, but I had only seen like two fights, and I had definitely remembered his last fight where he had the reverse triangle. So I knew who he was, and then but I obviously had to like go back and like really familiarize myself with him.
And something that I'm sure you're going to run into a bit in the UFC is you got so many fights, man. Like if you look at his record, he's only got 10 pro fights. You've got far more than that, if my math's correct. 19 pro fights, I think, on your end. How much of an advantage is that? Do you think?
Well, I think more experience is, is an advantage, but not only that. I think that I have a denser regional schedule than most guys in the bottom half of the UFC now.
Mhm.
It doesn't seem like they fight as competitive regional guys as like my generation was fighting,
Mhm.
and so I think he's still learning on the job, and I've already like done a whole career outside of the UFC, so like I just come ready to go. So I think it's going to be a good advantage.
And we hear about UFC jitters, but like you just mentioned there, you've had so many fights, you've had tough matchups on the regional scene already, and you've made the walk too. I'm sure cornering fighters. Like, are you even worried about that, or is it just like another fight for you when you step into the octagon?
Well, I think once the fight starts, like I don't think that there will be any UFC jitters. Like for sure, this cannot be higher pressure than my last fight, which was like my one opportunity after everything to fight in front of Dana White in a 5 round fight at altitude against what I think is actually a tougher opponent. Um, so I think in that regard I'll be fine because I handled that fine. Actually, I liked it. It kind of got me excited. It was just something I thought about. I was like, man, I'm gonna hear like whoever it is, like Michael Bisping or like like fighters that you look up to, like talk about you. I just hope they say good shit.
For sure.
It
Yeah,
might
no,
be. It's
absolutely.
kind of
Well,
awkward that you can hear them. I've never heard like I've never fought in such a silent place before.
and I might as well jump to that question because I was going to ask you, your corner, will Kraus be in who's going to be cornering you for this fight?
Yep. So Kraus will be in my corner. He's been in my corner 21 consecutive fights. So, um, of course he'll be in my corner, and then my wife is actually going to be in my corner,
Oh,
and
cool. Okay.
yeah, because she's been on this journey with me since my first pro fight, and she's made a lot of sacrifices and believed in me a ton, and it's at the apex, so there's no way to go, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so we're gonna have her there, and then my fighter Alejandro Gomez, he's gonna be in my corner as well,
Nice. Good.
and
Good balance
he's the
there.
one going out with me fight week.
That's awesome. So you telling Kraus to be a little bit louder then, just so you don't hear the commentators, just because again, it keeps things familiar.
Laughed at me. I said that to Cross, and he was like, "Whatever."
Yeah. Good stuff.
So
That's great, man.
yeah.
Training camp. Who've you mainly had a chance to work with this camp as far as bodies in the gym? You got your gym, and then I know sure doing a bit of cross training at the main Glory gym, right?
Yeah, everyone, it's great energy in the gym right now. Everybody's got a lot of fights coming up. So the whole team's in there. We also get a lot of like fighters traveling now. So it's been good in there lately. So all the names. I hate saying names because I feel like I forget people. But everyone's heard, everyone that's in there. We're all training together, getting it together.
Well, maybe you can mention. Are there any, like you mentioned, some guys coming in? Maybe just for camp. Is there anyone that's new
Yeah,
that
well, we
you've got a
had
chance?
Brandon Moreno's been in Glory for a little bit. So he brought with him two guys, and so I've been getting a lot of work with them. And and then it's just like Derek Minner's back in. I've seen Dakota Bush in again lately. Just like it's just like a revolving door of like guys my size that we're not as familiar with each other, and
Yeah.
so those are always good rounds.
Hope you're not missing an important phone call, by the way. But yeah,
No, not at
I
all,
know
not at
one
all.
name. One name, unfortunately, I know you didn't get to work with, and I know it's been a bit of a void there. Grant Dawson leaving and going to
Yeah.
ATT. I know, it wasn't bad or anything. He just wanted different looks. I spoke to Grant, but how is it kind of a bummer just to not get to train with him ahead of this fight? Because I know he was someone that always sort of rooted for you to get in the UFC.
Yeah, he's my boy, and obviously, that was a loss for our whole team. He's a great he's a very good martial artist. He's very high fight IQ, brings a great energy, pushes the pace. So, you know, but like I got a lot of time to train with Grant, and so at least I got some time, and I've learned a lot from training with him, and I'm sure vice versa. And it might not be the last time we're training together again. So, but it is what it is.
For sure. And you got a place to stay in Florida. I think him and Al just found a place so you can crash on the couch. You and your wife can make a vacation out of it or something, do some training.
Yeah,
so
man.
kind of works out well. April 16th, I know you feel like you're going to get your hand raised. Otherwise, why sign the contract? But how's this fight playing out? How do you envision it going down?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to dominate Jordan Leavitt and submit him in the first or second round.
Love
Open
it.
a lot of eyes.
Want to get a couple more fights in this year? Again, not looking past April 16th, but you want to keep active? Is that kind of the plan? Or do you...
Yeah, I'd like to get, I said at the beginning I'd like to get 4, and I'm still willing to do that if some short notice pop up. But yeah, I definitely want to get at least 2 more in after this one this year.
I know you're a busy guy. You got the gym, you got this fight, you got everything else going on. Downtime, what's that looking like? Getting any TV time in or anything? Or what have you been up to?
Very little, and but what I was watching the show Alone for a while, and that's what I was watching. But lately with camp, especially, I'm trying to go to bed a little earlier and like get extra sleep. It's pretty much just round the clock martial arts marathon right now for me.
Okay, that's good. Tell me,
But that's the way I like it.
No, I was going to ask, just as someone, I got 2 kids, so I'm curious, what do you consider early going to bed? Because I go to bed at 9 o'clock and I feel like a bit of a loser, but hey, I need my 8 hours. That's how it works.
Well, so like every other morning I teach a 7 a.m. jiu-jitsu class, so I got to get up at 5:30.
Gotcha.
And so on those nights, those are my early nights to leave the gym, so I get home about like 8, and I'm trying to be in bed like 9:30. But on the other nights, I get home from the gym. I don't get home from the gym until like 9:15. So I'll go to bed like 10:30, 11. Yeah, but like if I'm not in camp, then I'll hang out, like and stay up a little later. But when I have a fight, I'm like super disciplined about my sleep and my recovery. And if I gotta get up at 5:30 in the morning and go teach jiu-jitsu, then I'm going to bed. Like as soon as I get home, I eat and go to bed.
Yeah, sleep is like the most underrated recovery tool I think out there. Like people think you can survive in a couple hours. Everyone's different, but I need 8 hours. I can definitely feel the difference. And I don't fight, but still, I can totally feel the difference. So.
And like I get asked a lot, like what do I do for recovery? Like what's the best thing for recovery? Like I truly believe the best thing for recovery is sleep.
Yeah.
Is like you're gonna get a lot more out of just like sleeping 12 hours than you're gonna get out of like an ice bath. I really believe that.
For sure. And maybe someone's going to sleep here April 16th. We'll see. UFC Fight Night. Gonna be a great card. Trey, again, I told you this before. Man, I'm so happy to see you make your debut. We've been doing interviews for so long, and it's just cool to see you finally get in there. Just anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, so it's marathon_MMA on Instagram. That's really all my social media I do. And then shout out to Native Hemp Co., my CBD sponsor. They also got Delta 8 and stuff. Yeah, on their website, if you use the code Ogden MMA, you'll get 20% off, and they do free shipping to all 50 states.